So Apex Legends Mobile just launched globally, and with over 25 weapons in the game, you probably have a lot of questions. And we're gonna answer all of them in this video. And that's simply what I'm here for. I'm here to answer them, bro. So in today's video, we're gonna be going over the top 5 best weapons that you should actually be using in Apex Legends Mobile. These weapons are actually gonna be perfect for ranked, casual play, even scrimmages. These are simply just the best weapons that you have to be using. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and without further ado, let's hop straight into today's video. Let's get it. Before hopping into this list, I just want to let you guys know that none of these weapons are in any particular order. These are simply just the best weapons in the game, right? So at number 5 on our list, we actually have the R99, and this is known simply as the best SMG in the game with the fastest fire rate. It is known as the king of close range. Now, the R99 is actually a beast when it comes to overall mobility, the rate of fire, and just the damage output. The R99 actually packs a punch. With the amount of damage output that it actually gives, along with the mobility in the hands of a very skilled player, the R99 is simply probably one of the best guns in the game. With a pretty simple recoil pattern to master, I do kind of want to give you guys a heads up that it does actually have a huge damage drop off, so I wouldn't recommend this gun for actually long ranges, or it may not be the best for mid ranges as well. I feel personally for mid range there are simply just some better SMG options, but the R99 is definitely worth picking up. Moving on to the next gun on our list, we have the R301. People are complaining about this gun so much in soft launch. It's known as the gun with 0 recoil. Still to this day, it has 0 recoil. That's just how it is. This is definitely a weapon that you want to be picking up, and you can pretty much equip it with any sights. It's just elite. So the R301 is actually known as one of the noob guns that, basically any new player can learn to master. And I'm gonna be honest, the 301 is simply the best all-around gun in the entire game. It shreds close ranges, it shreds mid ranges, and even long ranges if you have the right sight. And if you're looking for a deadly combo, the R9 and 301 are perfect. It's like a match made in heaven. And I find myself actually running through a lot of light ammunition, so that may not be the smartest choice. But the 301 shreds, and it's actually the best all-around weapon, and that's why it's simply on this list. Moving on to the next gun on our list, guys, we have a weapon that you have to learn how to master, and that is the Mastiff, you know what I'm saying? So the Mastiff is one of the most OP shotguns in the entire game, and this is a gun that you simply need to master, or pretty much any shotguns to be honest, when you're playing against high-level players. When getting into a lot of those movement battles, if you can actually land your shots with a gun like the Mastiff, you can actually do a lot of damage. So typically, I like to run guns like the R99 along with the Mastiff, especially if you're trying to rank up to Pred, you do want to master a gun like the Mastiff or even the Peacekeeper. I find the Mastiff, honestly, in my opinion, to be a little bit more consistent. That's why it's on this list. With a pretty consistent rate of fire, pretty consistent damage output, and then just the mobility that you have with the Mastiff is like, it's unmatched, to be honest. And don't even get me started on the amount of damage it does to the head, bro. You guys see the stats. In sticky situations, the Mastiff is also just a better option because you can actually reload 1 pellet at a time, so you can still get some shots off where you're simply going against those movement gods. I know how it is, bro. Coming in at number 2 on our list, we actually have the Flatline. And on the PC version, this is known to be probably the best gun in the game at this current moment because of the consistency it has for longer ranges. And I'm gonna be honest, we may be seeing a buff to the Flatline a little bit later because currently in the mobile version, the hip fire is not as good as it is on PC. But the reason why the Flatline is simply on this list because it is actually one of the most consistent ARs currently in the game. This gun actually has a pretty simple rate of fire with a very consistent recoil pattern to master. But I'm gonna be honest, bro. We're just gonna be honest here. We can be honest, right? The downfall to the Flatline is simply the iron sights, bro. The Flatline has some of the worst iron sights in the game. I don't care what anyone says, bro. They're trash. But hey, if you slap a sight on that thing, you're legit, bro. You're good. But if you guys do see a Flatline on the ground, I would actually recommend to pick it up. It is a perfect weapon to actually be using in game, and that's simply why it's on this list. Moving on to number 1 on our list, keep in mind, bro, this is in no particular order. I don't want you guys to be getting salty, all right? We actually have the Devotion, and this is the reason why, bro. The Devotion is on this list because it's a new tube in Apex Mobile. I'm gonna be honest. This gun is actually an LMG with a crazy rate of fire, and if you actually have the turbocharger perk, it's actually a broken weapon in the game. As you guys can see, actually the damage output, along with one of the fastest rates of fire in the game currently, the Devotion is definitely a weapon that you actually want to pick up. And like we said, if you have the turbocharger, it's simply just a match made in heaven. And the real nice thing about the Devotion, it actually accelerates in its rate of fire. So if you can lock onto your targets with this gun, I'm telling you, bro, it's actually a beast. But moving on to our honorable mention, bro, we couldn't leave it off the list. We actually have the Wingman. Now, the Wingman is known to be a very skillful weapon, all right? Like, this isn't a new gun, I'm gonna be honest. I'm still trying to learn to master the Wingman myself. This is actually a gun with a very high damage output. For all of my COD Mobile aim gods, I'm gonna be honest, this is the gun for you, bro. So close range, this thing is a beast, and if you actually have hop-ups like the Skull Piercer, it's even better. You just simply have to land your shots with it, and that's simply why it's an honorable mention. But these are basically all the best guns that you should actually be using in Apex Legends Mobile. Hopefully this video was helpful, bro. All these guns I'm still learning to master myself, but coming from PC, console, and just the current state of mobile, these are simply the ones that you have to be using. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff that actually supports the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Let's get it, boys.